getting ready for the start of the 2026 high school football season. Today, we have a pair of scrimmages here at Wausau West and Wausau East, and then at 3 o'clock over at Valleyette Field, as Newman Catholic will be hosting Athens, Assumption, Three Lakes Phelps, and also Hurley. On this beautiful Friday morning. Coming up here today, we will be having what is not a normal play-by-play broadcast. We will be the chance to talk to the coaches and just get a feel for what is happening here today, and also preview these teams for their 2026 season. Okay, what we're going to do here is going to take a quick timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout, and the scrimmage should be getting underway here in just a few moments. So we're going to take a 90-second break and be right back and get things underway here from Johnson. For some reason, not working just the way that I wanted.
Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender today. CCU can set you up with great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. Summer's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water, on the road, or off the road camping or ATVing. Stop in, call, or apply online at ccuwausau.com for your great rate. Whatever floats summer fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun. So,
Rocket Industrial's mission to package with less is a commitment to making a future that's better for the next generation. Their recommendations help manufacturers across the nation package with less material, less waste, less time, and with less cost. Their engineers and experts provide data-backed solutions that positively impact your bottom line. When you work with Rocket Industrial, you're working with a partner committed to making a difference. Rocket Industrial, package with less. Learn more at rocketindustrial.com.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes from Johnson Field. Again, glad to be with you here on Wausau Area Sports as we have coverage today of the Wausau West versus Wausau East football scrimmage. Both these teams were in the playoffs a season ago. Wausau West finished 5-5 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. They were in third place. They were 5-5 overall, 4-2 in the WVC. They lost to Arrowhead 56-12 in the Division I level playoff. Wausau West lost some significant talent from their team a year ago. First team All-WVC offensive lineman Quentin Toski. First team All-Conference tight end Shea Jones. Jones was the top receiver for Wausau West a season ago. Had 30 catches for 562 yards and 10 touchdowns. Also, first team defensive end Tegan Rasmus, 64 tackles, 6.5 sacks. Second team running back Cooper DePoit. He ran for nearly 600 yards last season. Also was a standout on special teams and on defense. Honorable mention quarterback Joe Gravine. Gravine hit on 74 of 124 passes a year ago, 1,037 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Though Wausau West does have some talent back, some all-conference performers. Miles Waldvogel was a first-team All-WVC at defensive back. He will be the top runner, at least to start things off this season. He had 600 yards on 105 carries. As a junior, was honorable mention All-WVC at defensive back. Had 60 tackles and 3 interceptions in 2025. Some of the players that we'll be keeping an eye on early on this season, as Wausau West will have a new quarterback. It will be Jackson Riley taking over. He's had some as a sophomore. Last season, he hit on 9 of 15 passes, 117 yards. Had a game that was very easy to remember back last season, a Saturday afternoon game against Stevens Point where Joe Gravine, Jackson Riley came on. instead of just handing it off, they went back and threw the football, and he was able to find Shea Jones on a 42-yard completion, his only pass of that game, but it was a big pass, it was a big play in a one-score victory for Wausau West. Dane Zenner, Jackson Nordine, and Jack Graff. Also, multiple returning wide receiver starters, Finn Richard and Asa Richard. Returning starters on defense include defensive lineman Deshaun West. Will get the football first, and basically what we are going to see here today is we're going to see 15 plays on offense for Wausau West, and then 15 plays for Wausau East on offense, as we see some good juking and jiving in the backfield. I believe that was Miles Walvogel. One of the things why we're not going to be doing a strict play-by-play of this scrimmage is because there's no numbers out there, and of identifying some of the players, but at the same time, based on what we know, I think that was Waldvogel getting a nice gain of about 8 yards on that first play. Obviously, Wausau West going from left to right. As I said, basically they're going to be going 15 plays on each side. Later on, before we wrap things up, we will have actually a quarter being played. There's a little swing pass by Riley off to the right-hand side. Breaking a tackle and getting enough for the first down will be West. But at the end of the scrimmage, they're going to play basically a quarter, sort of a scrimmage quarter, as opposed to just doing the plays back and forth. So if a team gets a first down, they'll keep the football. If they are not able to get first downs, they will have to give up the football and punt it away. Apologize, again, all these wires getting wrapped around, a little bit of a staticky sound behind me, but again, we're trying, one reason we're out here today is to try and be able to get some of the bugs out before the opener. And of course, next week we will have a couple of games. I will be heading to Menominee on Thursday, as Wausau West will be taking on Menominee Thursday night, 6:40 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for the opening kickoff. And then on Friday night, be over at Newman Catholic, as the Cardinals will be opening up their 2026 season against Algoma. Again, 7 o'clock for the kickoff and 6:40 airtime right here on Wausau Area Sports. Mention a little bit about Wausau West. Wausau East, again, was a playoff team a year ago as well. They were 4-6 last season, 3-4, tied for 4th in the Great Northern Conference. They lost 31-7 at Mount Horeb-Barneveld in a Division III Level 1 playoff. As Wausau West, another handoff, and there's a nice little cutback. Starting near the left tackle, and then a cutback towards the center of the field near the left hash. And again, Wausau West coming out here and establishing the run, and that's something Wausau West did very well last season. Mentioned that Miles Walvogel had 600 yards rushing for Wausau West a year ago, and also Cooper DePoit had nearly 600 yards. So between those two, about 1,200 yards on the ground. And Wausau West has been really focused on trying to run the ball. But I think in order for Wausau West to take steps forward, both in the conference and potentially in the playoffs, they're going to try to mix it up a little bit, try to throw the football a little bit more. And there's a play action. Jackson Riley looking to throw, firing it towards the end zone, and there is a touchdown. So a nice start for Wausau West in terms of being able to move the football on their first drive. So Wausau West, again, very nice. They get a touchdown, but they will continue to run offense. Again, 15 plays on offense before Wausau East will get their first opportunity with the football. But mentioning Wausau East, they have really some pretty good talent back, and I know there's a lot of excitement and anticipation on the east side this season. Had a chance earlier this week to do an interview with Wausau East head football coach Tyler Kramer. You can catch that on our YouTube channel as well. But the Lumberjacks, they struggled in the middle of the season last year. They actually lost 4 games in a row. They were looking pretty bleak towards getting to the postseason, but they were able to finish off well, sneak into the playoffs before that loss on the road to Mount Horeb-Barneveld. Give you more on the Jacks here in a moment, but first another pass down the left-hand side, but a little bit too much on that one from Jackson Riley off to the left-hand side. But East did lose some pretty good talent, some pretty big play talent. Graduates included all Great Northern Conference players. First team Peyton Nest, great linebacker, Had 108 tackles a season ago, 18 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. Also lost Caden Meverden. He was a two-way standout. He was first team all-conference on defense and honorable mention on offense, defensive back and wide receiver respectively. Wausau West looking to throw a little swing pass on the left-hand side using the running back, and there's some good hard running on the left-hand side, plowing inside the 35 towards the 32. So again, high percentage pass, good yardage on that play for Wausau West. But talking about Meverden, we talked so much last season about his offensive capabilities in terms of the big play. Meverden defensively was just stellar for East. He had 72 tackles and 6 interceptions to go with 20 catches for 337 yards and 2 touchdowns. East also lost first-team offensive lineman Logan Glavinsky, first-team running back and honorable mention defensive back Ian Stahl. He was the big play guy on offense for Wausau East a year ago, rushing for 1,176 yards. Big opening for West right up the middle, plowing inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. So again, right there, Wausau West doing a nice job up front. I mentioned the fact that the Warriors have 3 offensive linemen that are returning this year. But for East, I mentioned Ian Stahl. We'll talk a little bit more about him when East has the football on offense in this scrimmage. Also, honorable mention defensive back Connor Machi with 33 tackles, an interception, and a forced fumble. Also has graduated for Wausau East, another hole that will be needed to be filled by head coach Tyler Kramer. Pitch out, and again, trying to get to the corner, little juke, little jive, a little cut, and then brought down. That time, pretty good move to the far sideline for Wausau East defensively, able to get out there, not allow the running back to turn it upfield and get the stop on the play. And one for Wausau East defensively, it really does start with their returning all-conference linebacker Aiden Kildee. Kildee with 93 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Talking to the coach earlier this week, he would have easily got to 100 tackles, except they did not play him in the final game of the regular season against Antigo, trying to make sure that he was healthy for the playoffs. Jackson Riley will look to fire it. A drop as the play was there, but a drop on that pass, and that will be an incomplete pass. Wausau East will be opening next Friday night. They will be home at Tom Field, taking on the Shawano Hawks. They have a couple of non-conference games to begin against Shawano, and then they will hit the road a week from Friday on the 28th of August, heading to La Crosse Logan. So Wausau West working with the football. Again, 15 plays offensively, then East will get 15 plays. They'll alternate back and forth a couple of times and then wrap up the event here with a one-quarter scrimmage. They'll put the quarter on the clock, and they'll actually play a quarter. Little swing pass on the right-hand side. There is some opening, one-on-one opportunity. That time, again, the first tackler for East was able to come in there and slow it down and make the stop. So, again, one thing, you're not going to see a scoreboard here. This is not about whether or not you win or lose. It's about getting opportunities against players that are wearing other jerseys. Practice has been going on for the last week and a half. And both these teams trying to set the foundation for successful 2026 seasons. And this is about getting an opportunity to see different things, different defenses, different offenses. Have guys that are doing 100% to try and bring you down, stop your plays. Pass. Oh, that showed good arm strength from Riley that time. Able to start with the football near the right-hand hash, throw all the way across the field, and bring that one in on target for a completed pass and a first down. So that was, I thought, a very impressive pass for Jackson Riley. Last week, had an interview with head coach Matt Johnson of Wausau West. Again, you can see that on our YouTube channel here at Wausau Area Sports. And in talking to him and other coaches with Wausau West, one of the things they were very excited about with Jackson Riley, number one, he's had some experience. Number two, he is careful with the football. He is somebody that they feel very confident that will make the right decisions, will be able to make the plays and put the ball in the right areas and not force it, not turn the ball over, because obviously you have to make sure that you take care of the football. Turnover is so vitally important in terms of success in football at all levels. Imagine here the Warriors must be getting close to the end of their 15 plays to begin this scrimmage. Of course, Matt Johnson is in the huddle right now with his team, giving the plays off to his players. And we'll get a chance to talk to the Wausau West coach coming up, I think, in just a few minutes, because when the Warriors are on defense, he said he would have a few minutes to talk to us. So I'll head down to the field here after the Warriors finish up their offensive set. Hope to get a chance to talk to Wausau West defensive coordinator Tim Wimmer at some point today as well. Try to get across the way, and I hope that our wireless mic has the range to get across the way to talk to Tyler Kramer, the Wausau East head coach, as well. So Wausau West trying to punch it in for a second consecutive series. Bit of a spread look. Two receivers on the left-hand side. Receiver goes into motion. Oh, the fake on the Statue of Liberty, and then that play was read exceptionally well by Wausau East and thrown for a loss. So a lot of movement, motion, little fake handoff, but in the end it turned into a loss on the play. And one thing, and I was talking to Coach Tim Wimmer, who runs the Wausau West defense a little earlier this morning. He said this is going to, in terms of both lines, both up front offensively, what he was talking about, but some of the same players are working on this defensive side for Wausau East. Is they have good size, they have good athletic ability as well. Sometimes you have kids who have great size, but don't quite have the same athletic ability, and that's something that East has. And I think that's a couple of young players, especially Malcolm McKecken, who was a sophomore last season, had 43 tackles, 13 for loss. There's an incomplete pass, but as a sophomore to have 13 big impact plays, tackles for loss, was something that East used exceptionally well. So there is the end of the first series. So now we will have a set of offense. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll just take a 1-minute break and come right back and have Wausau East on offense here on Wausau Area Sports. The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. And Chad Holmes back with you here from Johnson Field. Wausau East just starting up their first play offensively in this scrimmage against Wausau West. And Ian, can you hear me okay? All right, I'm going to head out onto the field and try to get a couple of interviews. So got the wireless, going to head down as you continue to watch this scrimmage. But again, we're going to try to grab a couple of interviews and again, try to preview the season here for Wausau West and Wausau East as the Lumberjacks and the Warriors scrimmage. Obviously, this is possible because we don't have a law game anymore. Teams are in different conferences. Wausau West in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. Wausau East is in the Great Northern Conference. Again, if I kind of break up at times, we're going to be seeing how far this wireless mic can go. Going to see if Coach Matt Johnson is available here as wide open player for the Jacks inside the 5-yard line. Got a moment, Coach? I guess after that, we may as well talk, right? Matt Johnson, head football coach. And Ian, if you can just keep it on the action as East tries to score a touchdown. I guess, first of all, what is the biggest goals for this scrimmage today?
Just see the things that we've been working on, for the first couple of weeks and see if they can come to fruition, and see if guys can step up and, play to the standard that we want to play football. And, just, you're hoping it looks a certain way, and you just kind of get to assess and see if it does.
At this point, are the guys really probably ready to face off with somebody else? You've had about a week and a half just going up against.
Long nights of like our coordinators and our position coaches kind of looking what they want to look, chart plays, and there's a lot of hours in, but it'll probably start with first me going out to eat with my family and taking an hour off after these 2 weeks and doing that, and then us getting back together, and we'll meet together as coaches this weekend a couple times and go from there.
I lied. One more question, because you said you've looked at Menominee. What kind of challenge do you expect next Thursday night?
A big one. They're we played the Big Rivers enough to know that they're deep and they're good from top to bottom. So Coach Olson, who is coming up from lacrosse, has won conference championships year in and year out down there. So I can only imagine they're going to get better, and that's obviously a tough conference. They lost a couple tough games last year, but they play physical. They have a lot of pride and a lot of history and tradition in that program as well too. And while we only have to play against this year's team, those teams with a lot of tradition, I think between Menominee, Rice Lake, and Everest, I don't know the number, but that's a lot of state championships to play against in the first couple of years. So super excited for the challenge starting on Thursday night.
Thanks a lot. It's been fun watching your team grow throughout the season.
Good. Thank you, Chad.
Head coach Matt Johnson of Wausau West as continue the scrimmage here. The Warriors and the Lumberjacks as Wausau East, as like Wausau West, has been able to take it downfield and score a touchdown. And I would say at least early on, these offenses are looking pretty good. But looking here to make sure that our microphone is working. And good news is it is working. Again, we're going to be kind of walking around here, let you take a look at the action of the scrimmage, but it's not based to be. This is not based. Again, it's a scrimmage. It's a
Chad, you also say no, I can't hear you.
And all the action. Get Nowinski on, but he better keep it clean, that's for sure.
Choices you got to make, Chad.
That is the voice of BJ Brandt. He is the athletic director here at Wausau West. And
Obviously it's a great location to have the scrimmage, but number two, it's these kids getting the opportunity to compete against each other for 30, 40 plays, whatever it ends up being today, and people in Wausau get to come watch them play. It used to be an annual thing, and now it doesn't happen as much with the change of conferences and structure. But it's a great opportunity for these guys to compete.
what is the summer like for an athletic director? I think you've been pretty busy, to say the least. But generally, how has the summer gone, and how's the job? I lose time has no meaning anymore. So I guess you have a year under your belt. How do you feel?
I feel much better. I think when you ask about summer, you try to
Chad, you also say no again. I still can't hear you.
Out high school sports schools.
started coaching with Pete, there were a lot of long-term tenured head coaches, and a lot of those guys were teachers in the building. And I think that has changed a little bit. It's a little bit different than it was certainly the 36 years that Pete was at in the hockey program. So I think you're going to see, maybe a little more turnover in that department. but hopefully as a program, what I've asked is that we're developing head coaches, because I think consistency within programs allows them to be successful. And I think as you've seen some of our successful programs, that's what's happened. Hiring coaches has been, that you ask about my off season, that was a lot of it. It was looking at applications, making phone calls, checking references to make sure that we get the best options for our kids. And you'll see some more announcements coming out as we did hire a hockey coach, we did hire a boys lacrosse coach, and those announcements will be coming out the next week. And then again, I think every person we've hired so far, there's a lot of excitement around.
You can announce it right here.
We could. I mean, for boys hockey, I mean, we're super excited to have Dane Hagedorn take over, an alumni who's been to the state tournament. He's, while he doesn't have a long tenured coaching experience,
Wisconsin Valley Conference is in terms of scheduling, in terms of trying to make sure that there are enough teams. I mean, we see in football that you have the two Eau Claire schools that are part of the conference. There are a lot of question marks with hockey because of the loss of the I'm going to take a stroll here, see if I can't get over towards the Wausau East side of the field. And again, yeah, I hope everything is okay. Now, I'm going to say to Ian, if there is any, let me know, because I can't hear you right now. But I'm going to walk over here, way far from the press box where we started. As Wausau West with a big play here, just to my left, scoring a touchdown. Seen a lot of significant offensive plays so far in this scrimmage. See if I can't chase down Coach Tyler Kramer here for Wausau East to see if he and see if we can't talk to Dan Garrett. You want to talk? Or you're busy? You're Warriors a big touchdown. Boy, again, some big chunks with the pass game. And I mentioned earlier, I think that this season, and again, it's just my speculation, that we're going to see Wausau West use some of their wide open. Oh, there's a number of schools over at DC Everest at Steam Stadium. Evergreen's hosting again. Schools such as Mosinee and Stratford. I think Wisconsin Rapids actually is joining up after replacing Wausau West. Lakeland is often there as well, so it's always a real nice mix of schools and quality football schools over at DC Everest. They started up at 10 o'clock. Or Hurley, Newman will face those two teams. And then there's two teams from the Cardinals' new conference, Assumption and Athens. And the fact that the Cardinals face both those two teams later in the season, they will not scrimmage them. So, but there's neighborhood to just pop on by. You can see a nice crowd on hand here, filling about 2/3 of the bleachers. Oh, wide open in the corner, and there's another touchdown for Wausau West. Talk about something we don't normally see. Have to give. I'm talking to really important people. And there's none more important right now than Steve Brown, who's holding this stick here for first down. Give you a moment here as the Warriors are ready to play. Yep, we're going to have Steve flip it to 2. Number 1, it's always good to see you. And I know you say so involved, and here you are working again.
Well, just one more season. No, just happens to be a different one.
You missed the coaching aspect, all those years behind the bench at West during the winter?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about that. But it's time to move on sometimes and let the next crew come in. But, oh, yeah, there's plenty of things I missed about it.
Come on, you look like $1 million here. I mean, you could be out there all the time. But let's watch this play here before, because I know you have to focus a little bit. But, again, Wausau West in their second set of 15 plays as I'm standing here on the West East sideline. Right at the first down marker at the 30-yard line. And it is.
of things. Things that
You know, you've been around kids for such a long time. How are kids the same and how are kids different these days?
I really don't think. To me, they're kids. It's all the same to me. I don't see a big difference in them. They all have their desires. They all have whatever. That's the part I probably.
That was play 15. So, Ian, we're going to take a quick timeout. Let's take another minute timeout. Let's thank some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Wausau East with the football as we continue the scrimmage on Wausau Area Sports.
So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, a boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying, or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing summer fun. Motorcycles, ATVs, campers, motorhomes, and convertibles too. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender today. CCU can set you up with great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. Summer's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water, on the road, or off the road camping or ATVing. Stop in, call, or apply online at ccuwausau.com for your great rate. Whatever floats summer fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
And we're back.
Chad Holmes again, here field side, not up in the booth here for our Manning cast type. This is the second set of 15 play. Oh, again, that's one of the things he tried to work on during the course of a scrimmage. But I would say generally both offenses have done pretty good work, and I would say for Wausau West, very impressive offensively through their first two series. And I'm going to grab a Wausau West assistant coach here. I told him I was going to come and talk to him. Neil Mantor, I told you we were going to come and get you. Hey, okay, we're going to watch the play here. Oh, if you're busy, you jump in. Hey, how's the start of the season been? You've been around here. I came up to you a couple of weeks ago, asked you how many years it was. How many years has it been?
12 years. Sorry.
12 years. How's it gone so far?
It's been really good this year. I mean, we got a experienced group back that have been around. A lot of these seniors now have been playing for 3 years. You know, the junior class has been around, big group. Sophomore class is a big group. So it's been really good with a lot of guys focused. Energy's really high. So it's been good.
When I come to practice, I always see you kind of take charge when you get to those special teams units. Talk a little bit about your role with this, because it's more than that. I mean, you have your fingers in a lot of areas, don't you?
I have my fingers in a lot of areas. This year we have Coach Sparati taking over kickoff and kickoff return, so I'm more of a helper on that one. I'll still be doing punt block, but I still just get my hands in everything, just trying to stay busy in the practice and just trying to help out where you can, we don't, we have a pretty big staff, but we still don't have that like some of these other schools where these, you got 15 peeps, 15, 16 coaches where you can have guys dedicated to this stuff, so.
As you look ahead to next Thursday and the start of the season, I get the sense that there's a lot of optimism. There's also, I think, a lot of room for growth with a lot of these players, and a lot of young players that have the opportunity to make some impact, some older players who have, I think, been around the block a couple of times. There's a pretty good mixture of talent on this team, isn't there?
Yes, there's a very good mixture. We got a lot of seniors who have played a lot of snaps. We got some juniors that had some snaps last year as sophomores. We got some sophomores that'll be stepping up into bigger roles this year, coming from the freshman level. I mean, but, like you said, we got a good mix there. So, like, we got these seniors that, they played as sophomores, so they can help these sophomores. We got, seniors that played all these snaps. So when these younger guys have questions, it's like, hey, keep your head up. This is going to get easier. Yes, you're going to get knocked down. Get your head back up. Keep going. It's going to suck for a little bit, but then, you'll be good to go.
I know the kids are ready for the start of the regular season. Are the coaches ready for the regular season start?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, 3 weeks of just going against yourselves the whole time, it gets a little monotonous. Is the best word to say it. You kind of already know what the other what's going to happen going into practice. Well, I know these 10 plays he's going to call. You're not. The fun part's the game planning and putting the pieces together and trying to put the kids in the right. When you're going against yourself, I mean, you got the game plan. You got the game plan done last year because we already know what we're doing. I mean, it's been a little different this year with switching back to a 4-2-5, but it's been fun. And it's always going against someone else is a lot more fun than going against yourself.
I'll let you get back to work.
Right,
Neil, thanks.
Thank you.
Neil Mantor, assistant coach for Wausau West, as the Warrior D is out there right now against the Lumberjack O. I'm standing actually right behind the defense near the goal posts. Ian Welsh is up in the booth, manning the camera, doing, I'm sure, a fantastic job. And really glad you could be with us here on Wausau Area Sports. Again, our first football season. And just to kind of give you, again, a sense of what we are, in case you've missed it, because we just started in the spring. Did baseball and softball with Wausau West. Did some girls soccer in the playoffs. Went with the Warrior soccer team, as there's a nice play made to the sideline for Wausau East. But followed the Wausau West girls soccer team to the sectional final. And now here in the fall, we will be bringing you all of the regular season action of Wausau West football and Newman Catholic football, starting next week with Wausau West on Thursday night at Menominee and Newman Catholic at home against Algoma on Friday. We will be providing coverage of teams such as East and Everest and Marathon and Mosinee on our website. Again, if you have not checked out our website, go to wausauareasports.com. We have a preview of the Wausau East football season with a link to our interview with head coach Tyler Kramer. As that time the Wausau West Warrior defense able to swarm all over the runner. But we have previews with interviews with the coaches for Wausau East, Wausau West, DC Everest, and Newman Catholic. So again, go to wausauareasports.com and be able to check out all that. And during the course of the season, we'll have a chance to talk to coaches outside of the teams that we provide live play-by-play coverage on. You can also check out our upcoming broadcast. Field. It's very nice to get this opportunity. I do come to practices all the time, but here, while for lack of a better term, the bullets are flying, it's very interesting stuff. And again, it's going to be very interesting coming up here in just a few minutes when they have a quarter. We're going to have an actual quarter of football to wrap it up. And it's great to have that situation where you have to get the plays in. You have to get the plays to your teammates. You have to execute. There's a pass to the far side. It is completed, and a nice little forward lean almost to the end zone for East. But I think one thing that sometimes you don't see a lot of in a scrimmage is the true pressure of time, the play clock, to be able to get the play in and out and make sure that everybody is ready to go before you get a delay of game. Often in that first game of the season, that's one of the biggest challenges a team will have, is to make sure that you have that flow. You don't have all day during a practice, or often during a scrimmage. You have that opportunity to say, hey, let's stop right here and make sure we get this right. During the course of a game, you really have to get it right the first time. Both these teams will start off with a pair of non-conference games. 1 yard line here for East. Oh, fake handoff, and quarterback will get into the end zone. Again, boy, we've seen a number of touchdowns for both East and West during the early part of this scrimmage. So again, it's been very interesting to see these offenses come out and look very, very sharp early on. Multiple touchdowns each of these sessions for these teams. I was talking a little bit earlier about the conferences. Great Northern Conference and BoundWisconsin.com does previews. And again, I don't agree with all of them, but it's always interesting. It's a good talking points to get a sense on where a conference may be heading. And in the Great Northern, Wausau East has been selected from Bound at number 3. And I think that's I think the Great Northern, and something that we talked about with Coach Tyler Kramer in our interview earlier this week, is that there is one conference where almost every week you're going to get a surprise. I would say that one thing that the Great Northern would like to do is to have maybe a little bit more strength at the top of their league in terms of going deeper into the playoffs. I mean, it's been such a balanced conference for a number of years, but have not seen very many deep runs in the postseason from Great Northern Conference teams. But on the other side, that means there's been incredible balance and incredible amount of competitive games, competitive league standings. So I would say that if there's a conference in the state of Wisconsin where it is risky to try to say this team will be first and this team will be 6th or 7th or whatever it may be, it would be the GNC. But according to BoundWisconsin.com, their preseason favorite is Medford. And that is not surprising. In fact, it's something that I can definitely see the reasons behind it. Even last year, I was at the Wausau East game against Medford last season. I was talking to some folks from Medford, and it was sort of a rebuilding year because they had such a great group of seniors the previous year that had led Medford to a lot of success. Last season it was more of a struggle. They only won 3 games. But the thing was, there was 3 games that were important enough in terms of the strength of schedule to get them into the postseason playoffs. And again, one of the things about the GNC is you didn't see a lot of teams go very deep, but you sure saw a lot of teams in the playoffs. Only one team did not make the playoffs a season ago in the Great Northern Conference. And that's because all these teams were beating up on each other. If you beat one team, you may have lost to another team. That other team who you lost to may beat the team that you lost to previously as well. Wausau East, I'm thinking, is getting fairly close to the end of this 15-play segment. And the scrimmage itself has been clipping along very quickly. And there's some good pressure and some good pass coverage for West, leading to the quarterback sack. I think that is the end of the 15 plays for Wausau East. So while there is a break in the action, we'll take another 1-minute break as well. So 1-minute break and then back with more here from Wausau West and Jerry Johnson Field. Wausau West and Wausau East high school football scrimmage on Wausau Area Sports.
The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports.
And we're back.
Chad Holmes back again here from Johnson Field as we're going to get a little bit of special teams work. Ben Christensen, second team All-Wisconsin Valley Conference kicker for Wausau West a year ago. And that's an area that I think the Warriors feel confident that if they do need a 30, 35-yard field goal, maybe even more, that they'll be capable of doing that. No problem at all, and you see it. I mean, that's from 20 yards out, and that would have been good from 35 to 40, I would think, at the very least. You may not think a lot about the kicking game. Oh, that time East came in there and blocked it. And that's, again, when you try to go for those longer kicks, the aspect of being able to try to get it a little bit lower to go further, that blocked kick, the percentage goes up just a little bit. Oh, that one looks good right over my head. Catch it with no hands. Coach Josh Nowinski working the camera.
Yes, sir. Anything I can do to help the Warriors out.
How many years have you been around the Wausau West program?
Since 2003.
And you have been doing different things. And now you're working with some of the younger players this season. I saw you before the scrimmage, actually, bright and early, being able to work with those young players working up front, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I retired for 1 year, and then Coach Johnson had reached out, and just because of the commitment level to my family at the varsity level, and he said, hey, I got a spot for you with the freshmen, so you get to scratch the football itch.
That said, I'm sure that your experience and your expertise is being used with some of the older players as well. It's actually, I imagine it's kind of fun that you're able to be part of it and be able to add to what Wausau West is trying to accomplish and still be able to do the things that you want with your family and otherwise.
Oh, for sure. And it's I'm kind of aging myself right now too, because a couple of those freshman players, I coached their dads a few years ago as well. So it's crazy how these kids just remind you of their fathers back when they played.
What about this season? Because I mean, you've been around practices, you know. and I think coaches hate that word, of some good stuff this year, but you have to perform, correct?
100%. And as far as team health, that'll be the key component to that going on, and letting those kids continue to grow throughout the season. But I think the first group up front, there's definitely potential, as you like to say, and I think with game speed and game reps, those guys are only going to get better.
Well, and finally, again, putting your coaching hat on, what are the things that you most focus on with the young players in terms of trying to maximize their ability to try to take those steps forward up front?
Well, we talk about how you don't control everything on the football field, but the one thing that you do is your effort and knowing what you have to do. And they're young, but with film study and things like that, you could point that out, and then they see it, and hopefully they connect the dots as well. But once again,
see you around.
Absolutely. Good seeing you too, Chad.
Coach Josh Nowinski. Again, oh, good thing I turned my head just in the nick of time. Wausau East now working on their field goal unit. That one just dropped in front of me. Gonna take a stroll again towards the Wausau East side of the field. As we continue here, again, we had 60 plays. We had 4 sets of 15. Each offense and each defense had 30 plays up to this point. Now working on some special teams. And then coming up, we will have, again, a quarter, 1 quarter of scrimmage. Gonna put it on the clock, and we'll see teams try to move the sticks and try to score. And again, it's not about winning and losing here today. It's about getting some film for these teams to be able to work on areas that they can get better at, try to adjust. Because again, when you're facing somebody that's trying to stop you, or somebody who's trying to score on you, to be able to adjust as well. So now Wausau West, I think, is going to get another opportunity, and I think that we got a minute.
Yes, I do.
Coach Tyler Kramer of Wausau East. What have you seen so far? What have you been pleased with, and maybe one of the areas that maybe have jumped out at you in terms of working on for your team?
I think our run game's been really good. I think we've stayed really stout on defense, and that the D-line has been very impressive to me. I thought even having a couple young guys out there like Christian Kelly, or guys that are just a little bit more inexperienced, they've been great. Linebacking crew has been great on defense, and I think overall the offense impressed me a lot. I was a little not questioning our pass game, but I didn't think it would be as strong as it was, and I think we passed well, ran well, and the offense looked like a unit.
It seems like generally in this scrimmage there's been a lot of big plays. Is it a matter of the offenses being a little ahead of the defenses, or just basically you learn things that you don't see during the course of going up against each other, your own team for the first week and a half?
I think the biggest thing is when you get into it, defense needs those full contact reps. And once they're getting into scrimmage mode, once we're getting into games, that's when they really clear it up. Where offense, you can crisp everything up just running it, because you're not running. I mean, you're running off of what a defense is, but not completely what the defense is doing, because we're running a design play. Defense is all reactive and how they're going on that. So we'll see big plays through the first couple weeks. Hopefully not too many against us is what I'm looking for. But we'll see that kind of stuff and just have to change things as we go. But I think you get into week 2, week 3, that's when you start correcting a lot of that. The defense will be at its prime.
Once this scrimmage ends, it's game week. You start getting ready for next Friday night in Shawano over at Tom Field. What is game week like for you and your coaches? I guess, and I asked actually Coach Johnson, we know a lot about the week itself where you're on the practice field. What is the next maybe 2 to 3 days as you set the foundation for the week like for you and your coaches?
Well, for us, big one this week. We have our big fundraiser this weekend, so that'll kind of bridge my week a little different than it normally would. But on a normal week, I tell all my coaches rest on Saturday. If we get the film Friday night, we get the film. If you want to watch a little bit, but take time to enjoy your family, enjoy your life on Saturday, and then Sunday is the day that we hit it hard. And then once we get into Monday, that's a huge film day for us. Huge film and weightlifting day for us every single Monday. Generally, we don't go outside on Mondays, which is different for a lot of teams, and I think it's worked well for us. Kept our guys healthy throughout the years. And then just a basic, we do our practice for 2 days and a walkthrough, and I think it's kept the kids crisp over the years and something that we'll continue to do through this year.
And finally, you do have Shawano next Friday night. Obviously a challenge. What do you know about Shawano? What do you expect next Friday?
Run heavy team, very, very run heavy team. About 75% last year. Kept a lot of their skilled players besides their quarterback. I think their running back's a pretty good player. Kept a couple of their offensive linemen. I think if we stick to what we've showed today, we run the ball well. I think if we keep the offense moving and just be able to understand that not a power run team that's going to run some option stuff and try to trick you. If you stay disciplined within that, we'll be okay.
Best of luck Friday, and best of luck throughout the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jeff.
Head coach Tyler Kramer, the Wausau East Lumberjacks, as we're continuing the scrimmage. Right now, Wausau West on offense. Going to walk behind the Warriors now here on the near the 50-yard line. And you can see there's some pretty good numbers here for Wausau West. Yeah, I think when I get over on the other side of the field, it kind of gets a little bit. So hopefully you're able to get most of it. But again, something we have not done before. very happy to be here and provide some coverage of this scrimmage. As we just talked with Tyler Kramer, the Wausau East head coach, in terms of as Wausau West scores yet another touchdown. Boy, again, both offenses have been very impressive from what we've been able to see here. And I think the Warriors have shown the ability both to move the ball on the ground and move the ball through the air. And Wausau East, as we heard from Coach Kramer, they want to be able to run the football a little bit more than pass it. But, boy, I think they have the capability. And I think one of the stories for Wausau East this season to keep an eye on is quarterback Cam Rye. Again, he came on, started the last half of the season as a sophomore. He was somebody that has impressed in multiple sports. We saw some of him during the spring on the baseball diamond, pitching for the Wausau East Lumberjacks. But looking at the WVC, again, BoundWisconsin.com had their preseason predictions. And according to Bound Wisconsin, they have DC Everest, the defending conference champions, as the #1 team. As Wausau West starts up again after scoring a touchdown. Here the Warriors are going to look to throw. Oh, a little bit low and behind the intended target, so incomplete. But DC Everest, I think Everest has potential to be very good, but I think that in terms of some of what they lost may take a little bit of time. But so DC Everest does have the returning conference defensive player of the year in Nico Kleinschmidt. They do have a real foundational piece on their offensive line in Chris Ferrario, but he was all-conference selection as a sophomore last season. But they have some holes to fill on the offensive line. So, again, that is so much of what you are able to accomplish on the field is up front. You can have outstanding skill players, and if you can't block up front or can't get through as a defensive front, get through the opponent's offensive line, you're not going to be able to win. Winning starts up front, and that's maybe a cliche, but it's also very true. So, again, I think for me, and I think it'll be very interesting in the first conference game when Wausau West travels to DC Everest, to see whether or not the Evergreens up front are at that level to win another conference championship. I'm not saying they can't, but again, I think there is a question mark. There's a long pass again for the Warriors. Again, they're not afraid to throw it downfield here today, and I think that is an element that could be very, very effective for Wausau West, because teams, I think, look at the Warriors as very much a run-first team, and I think it's going to continue to be a run-first team, but to have that capability when teams pinch additional players in the box to be able to go up top and to get over the top of the defense and get some big chunks of yardage would be a very, very big step forward for the Warrior offense. According to BoundWisconsin.com, in the Valley, 2 years ago they made a nice deep run in the postseason. Stretched out and getting to the corner, and another touchdown for the Wausau West offense. But again, this is a scrimmage, so that's why we're not keeping any score tracks, but you're looking at maybe some trends and trying to see what these teams are doing very well. And one thing the Warriors are doing well is they're continuing to take it from the 40 and score touchdowns in each of their 3 now offensive opportunities. But again, talking about Spash, they started the season off so very well last year, and then they just fell apart late, and the biggest loss for Stevens Point last year was that game at Tom Field on a Saturday afternoon when the Warriors knocked off Stevens Point 28-21. All their losses were fairly tight. That game against West was, I think, a microcosm of their difficulties coming down the stretch. They lost a lead in the, I think it was the final game of the season in Marshfield that knocked them completely out of the playoffs. But they do have a very important returning player in quarterback Trent Breitbach. Breitbach has got a lot of games under his belt. He is a kid, and we saw it again in that game. He was a one-man wrecking crew for Stevens Point, getting upwards of 350 yards of total offense between his passing and his running against the Warriors. And again, if you're going to slow down the Stevens Point offense, you have to find a way to slow down Trent Breitbach. But what else will they have? Well, they do have quite a few starters back, 7 starters on both offense and defense. So, again, it looks as though if I was, again, and I hate even trying to predict, because in high school football there's so much that we don't know at this point of the season. But if I was to predict, I would give Spash an edge over Everest, at least early, based on the returning talent that they do have. Again, teams develop during the season. Some teams develop, plateau, and don't get any better. Other teams get better and better and better, and that will be a key ultimately to who wins the Wisconsin Valley Conference this season. Another good chunk of yardage for Wausau West, as the Warriors continue to move it up and down the field very effectively. But again, I'm curious to see what Stevens Point is able to do, especially early, because with all that talent back, I would expect Stevens Point to be a team early in the season that would be maybe a half a step ahead of some teams that lose more than 4 of their 11 starters on each side of the ball, like Stevens Point did. Third, according to BoundWisconsin.com in the Valley, is Marshfield. And I've heard from, during the offseason, from a lot of players. I was running into some of the guys during the offseason, and I've heard that Marshfield is a team that not only could be in the top 3, but they could be a team that competes for a conference championship. They got a running back named Hayden Carlson back, and we saw Hayden Carlson have a big night against Wausau West last season, helping Marshfield to a victory. Another big play, sweep to the right-hand side for Wausau West as you continue to see the action on the field. But Marshfield, with Hayden Carlson, I think any team that faces Marshfield will start with Hayden Carlson, but they got a couple of quarterbacks, and I'm curious to see exactly if Marshfield continues to use 2 quarterbacks. I don't know if that worked especially well for them a year ago. Trevin Freese and Ethan Femmel, they both had significant playing time in each of their Marshfield games. I think it'll be interesting to see if they decide to go with one or the other, or continue that alternating pattern, at least to start off the season. Wausau West is picked number 4, according to BoundWisconsin.com. And again, I can understand it. I think the Warriors, and again, that word that sometimes, another big opening right up the middle, and yet another touchdown for Wausau West. Well, based on the way the Warriors are moving the football today, I would say that 4th in the Wisconsin Valley Conference might not be the ceiling for this team. But again, I can actually see why the Warriors would put in that position. They do have to replace their starting quarterback. They do have to replace a couple of outstanding big stat performers, such as Shea Jones, such as Tegan Rasmus, such as Cooper DePoit. So again, those are some rather significant players that have been lost to graduation. Ian, we're going to take a quick 1-minute break, because again, East will take over. We're going to take a 1-minute break, come back and watch East with the football as we continue here at this football scrimmage at Wausau West on Wausau Area Sports.
Real Estate and Tim Wimmer is a proud supporter of our student athletes and our coverage of high school sports on Wausau Area Sports. Founded by Tim Wimmer, Wimmer Real Estate offers residential, commercial, business brokerage, and property management services throughout central Wisconsin. Backed by decades of experience and a commitment to client success, we're here to help you make your next move with confidence. Find out more about Wimmer Realty and contact him online. Go to wimmerrealty.com. That's wimmerrealty.com.
Rocket Industrial's mission to package with less is a commitment to making a future that's better for the next generation. Their recommendations help manufacturers across the nation package with less material, less waste, less time, and with less cost. Their engineers and experts provide data-backed solutions that positively impact your bottom line. When you work with Rocket Industrial, you're working with a partner committed to making a difference. Rocket Industrial, package with less. Learn more at rocketindustrial.com.
And we're back here at Johnson Field, Wausau East with the football, and there's some good tight coverage by the Warriors as we're continuing this scrimmage, Wausau East and Wausau West on this beautiful day at Wausau West High School. I am Chad Holmes along with Ian Welsh as we are starting our coverage of the 2026 high school football season. Again, the Warriors will open up their season next Thursday night at Menominee. I will be over at the stadium at the campus of UW Stout. 6:40 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for the opening kickoff right here on Wausau Area Sports. Again, any of the interviews that we had, I know we had some with the wireless mic trying to, as I went further away from our booth, maybe a little bit of cutouts, and apologize for that. Trying something a little new here for these scrimmages. Try to use these wireless mics and get over there and be able to get some discussions. Again, these scrimmages are a little different than a normal game. Not going to do a play-by-play of this one because, again, it's not about scoring or winning or losing. It's about development and being ready to go next week for the season openers. I was, again, going through the boundwisconsin.com predictions for the 2026 Wisconsin Valley Conference season. Mentioned that DC Everest, number 1, picked by Bound. Stevens Point, number 2. Marshfield, number 3. Wausau West, number 4. Eau Claire North, number 5. Eau Claire North has a new head coach, Mike Sins, who has Central Wisconsin ties. He had been the coach at Menominee. He has moved over to Eau Claire North. A year ago, the Huskies were 2-7. They have had a long stretch without playoff football. Have not made the playoffs since. Oh, there's an interception by Wausau West. So the Warrior defense stepping up here. And the Warrior faithful below us here in the bleachers, very, very happy. But, yeah, it's been 18 years since Eau Claire North has made the playoffs. So see if Mike Sins can turn that one around. They do lose a very electric player. Zachary Shipman last season, not a lot of W's for Eau Claire North, but boy, Shipman was a very exciting player at the quarterback position. He had more than 1,200 yards rushing. He had more than 1,100 yards passing. He accounted for 21 touchdowns during the course of the Eau Claire North season. 6th in the conference is Wisconsin Rapids. Mike Krenz, Wausau West grad, is going to start his 2nd season trying to rebuild the Wisconsin Rapids program. They did not win a game last season. So, again, it's about building foundations when you're trying to work your way up from the bottom of a conference. So I'm very curious to see whether or not Coach Krenz is able to take those steps forward. They were very competitive in a number of games. In fact, one of their most competitive games, they came into a Tom Field and gave the Warriors everything they could handle in a 2-point game. I believe the final was 14-12, if I'm not mistaken. And they played exceptionally well. They showed some seeds of success, and they do have their quarterback, Owen Richardson, back at Wisconsin Rapids this season. Well, right now, the Warrior D is starting to pick up the pace here on this set of 15 plays for Wausau East. And then Eau Claire Memorial is scheduled, picked by BoundWisconsin.com to be 7th in the WVC. They were 1-8 last season. They have, again, been trying to build. The Eau Claire schools have been just struggling for a number of years now. And Memorial does have their quarterback back, Marcus Holmberg. He threw for more than 1,000 yards last season. So, again, both Eau Claire North and Eau Claire Memorial, beautiful new facilities there. And, in fact, bad snap there for the Jacks. But this year, Wausau West, but in Week 7 and Week 9, will be heading to Eau Claire for games against North and Memorial. Wausau West will be at Memorial on October the 2nd, and at Eau Claire North to wrap up the regular season on October the 16th. And both those schools in the last year have opened up beautiful new facilities. I'm looking forward to going over there and broadcasting from those beautiful new facilities at their high schools. For years, those schools have played at Carson Park and now are able to play on campus. And curious to see whether or not that allows these schools to maybe get more interest and be able to build up their football programs. So Wausau East still with the football. So again, you can check out the full preview of the Wisconsin Valley Conference at boundwisconsin.com. Boy, again, right now in this set of downs, Lumberjacks are having some difficulties moving the football. Let's look at the full schedules for both these teams. Let's talk about Wausau East first. Wausau East will start off their campaign next Friday at home against Shawano. Then coming up a week from Friday, they'll have their first game on the road on August the 28th against a good program, La Crosse Logan. And then the conference season begins. And one of the things that kind of jumps out about early in the season for Wausau East is how they do have 3 consecutive road games after their opener against Shawano. And that's, you don't see very often, to see 3 consecutive road games, and there's a big rush there. And able to make something out of nothing where the Lumberjacks get a big play down inside the 5-yard line. But Wausau East will be challenged early in the season with 3 straight road games at La Crosse Logan, and then the first 2 conference games at Tomahawk and at Lakeland. So Tomahawk, who comes off their Cinderella season from a year ago. I mean, that was one of the great stories in north central Wisconsin, was how Tomahawk was able to turn around their program and share the Great Northern Conference title with Mosinee last season at 6-1. Tomahawk, according to BoundWisconsin.com, is picked 2nd in the conference. East is picked 3rd in the conference. So that first game for Wausau East in the GNC this year at Tomahawk, I mean, maybe the first game of the conference season, but boy, against one of the teams expected to be in that battle, and actually 2 of the teams expected to be in the battle for the conference championship, to see both those squads get together. That will be an early season test for both East and Tomahawk. Then East will be traveling to Lakeland, make the trek up north to Minocqua for their second conference game of the campaign in week 4 of the season. Lakeland, according to BoundWisconsin.com, is picked 6th in the conference. They had an interesting campaign last year. Lakeland started off their season a year ago, winning 4 in a row. And then they lost 5 of their last 6, including a playoff loss to Merrill. So, but Lakeland does, and when we saw Lakeland take on Wausau East late in the regular season, they were devastated by injuries. So that team that started the year off 4-0 was really not the same team in weeks 8, 9, and then their playoff game in week 10. And Lakeland does have a lot of starters back. In fact, 9 of their 11 defensive starters are back this year, according to Bound Wisconsin. 6 of their starters back on offense. So again, this Lakeland team picked 6, but I think that could be maybe a team to keep an eye on. And Wausau East, again, another road game to start off that conference campaign in week number 2 of the league season. So for Wausau East, it's going to be a challenging start with Logan, Tomahawk, and Lakeland all back to back on the road in weeks 2, 3, and 4. Then it doesn't get any easier when the Lumberjacks return to Tom Field on September the 18th. In week 5, they'll take on the preseason conference favorite, Medford. He's trying to punch it in, and they are able to do so. East, I think, their best win of the year last season would be the victory they had over Medford at home. That was the game that started their run towards the postseason playoffs. So that's week 5 for Wausau East. And again, it doesn't get any easier than in week number 6, they are at Mosinee. Mosinee was the co-champions in the GNC last year. And according to BoundWisconsin.com, in terms of their 2026 team, they are picked 4th. And that's unusual. Mosinee is usually a school that is battling for 1st or 2nd in the conference. But, again, they lost some significant talent to graduation. Treve Stoffel, I mean, the young man was just huge on offense and on defense. So obviously to try to fill the shoes of the quarterback position will be one of the things for new head coach Kevin Sanchez-Stefanowski. Again, he takes over for Kyle Stoffel, who resigned at the end of last season. There's a quarterback sack for Wausau West as he's still with the football in this 3rd set of 15 plays. And for Wausau East, the thing about their schedule is you would say that, and again, you don't want to say the easier portion of their schedule, but again, hey, we're going to kind of go where I think the information takes us. Then they have Antigo at home on October the 2nd in week 7. They're at Rhinelander in Week 8 on October the 9th, and then finish up their season at home against Merrill on October the 16th. And Merrill, a team also, I think, that's been talked about as a team that potentially could make a move towards the upper echelon of the Great Northern Conference as well here in 2026. There's a nice pass completion for Wausau East. So, again, that is the Lumberjacks schedule. They have 5 road games and 4 home games. 2 of the final 3 games, however, at home, as East tries to work their way into the postseason playoffs for a 3rd consecutive year. For Wausau West, again, their non-conference games next Thursday at Menominee, and then they will have their home opener at Tom Field on Friday, August the 28th against Rice Lake. Rice Lake, as Wausau East will head deep. Whistles blow, however, on the throw. But Rice Lake has had some incredibly talented teams in recent years. However, they lost quite a bit to graduation. When you say that, though, and I know that sometimes you say, boy, a team lost a lot to graduation, that doesn't indicate the depth of a program. It does not indicate the depth of a team the previous year. Many of the players sometimes could be a starter in almost any other team on their schedule, but if you're on a very good football team like Rice Lake the last couple of years, they may be not starters. They may be starters this season and be just as good again. But at the same time, there can be ebbs and flows as well when it comes to the production of a team. I mean, there's special teams that are good every year, and then I think for the great majority of the teams, you'll see teams that are up and down. Another incomplete pass for Wausau East. But again, Menominee on the road, Rice Lake at home the first 2 weeks in the non-conference for West. Another thing you have to always note as well is how the games in the non-conference do matter when it comes to making the playoffs. Before last year, going back 2 years ago, those non-conference games did not have the same oomph in terms of qualifying for the playoffs. They did have, I think, a factor in terms of seeding for the playoffs, but not for qualifying for the playoffs. Now, those non-conference games matter, and they matter a lot. So it's good to have a good solid scrimmage, a good couple of weeks in practice, because those non-conference games, it's not about just trying to work your way into play in week 3 when the conference season gets underway. But when the conference season does start for Wausau West, you will see a very, very big game to start things off. On Friday night, September the 4th, the Warriors will be at DC Everest taking on the Evergreens. The schedule has been set up where Wausau West has to go over to Steam back-to-back years. Warriors were shut out over at Everest a season ago. So, again, a very quick opportunity for Wausau West to be able to make a statement on the road at Everest on September the 4th. Then the Warriors will be home on Friday night, September the 11th, week 4 of the season, week 2 of the conference campaign against Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. Then another big road game for Wausau West coming up on the 18th of September. Warriors will travel to Stevens Point. We're going to continue, but there's a break in the action. So, again, we'll take another minute break. Come back as this scrimmage between Wausau West and Wausau East continues on Wausau Area Sports.
So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, a boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying, or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing summer fun. Motorcycles, ATVs, campers, motorhomes, and convertibles too. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender today. CCU can set you up with great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. Summer's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water, on the road, or off-the-road camping, or ATVing. Stop in, call, or apply online at ccuwausau.com for your great rate. Whatever floats summer fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
And welcome back. Chad Holmes at Johnson Field at Wausau West. Warriors and the Wausau East Lumberjacks in a scrimmage. Hey, I want to thank one of our new sponsors. And when you are listening to Wausau West football this season, every time the Warriors get a first down, it'll be brought to you by Road Ready. University Drivers Education. Every time the Warriors get a first down, you'll hear me or Tom Weaver say, it's a Road Ready University Drivers Education first down for the Warriors. And also, during our postgame show, Road Ready University Drivers Education will be the sponsor of our player of the game. Road Ready University Drivers Education is a certified driving school located in central Wisconsin. They offer driving education to teens and adults in Marathon County. They are committed to safety and teaching the foundational skills to prepare you for a life of safe driving. Check them out online, Facebook and Instagram. Are you road ready? So thanks again to Road Ready University Drivers Education for sponsoring the first down and our player of the game during our coverage of Wausau West High School football here on Wausau Area Sports. Going over the Warrior schedule here for 2026, and all games will air live right here on our Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. We will have video streaming of all 9 regular season games for the Wausau West Warriors this season. Wausau West with the football again, trying to continue what's been, I think, a very impressive scrimmage offensively for the Warriors. And I would say there have been plenty of Road Ready University Drivers Education first downs for the Warriors. In fact, there is another first down. And again, when we have our broadcast, we'll be saying Road Ready University Drivers Education first down for the Warriors. But mentioned the Warriors have a couple of massive road games early in the conference season. Week 1 of the conference season at DC Everest, and then after that game against Wisconsin Rapids in the second week of the conference campaign, the Warriors will head to Gerke Field and take on Stevens Point on Friday night, September the 18th. So again, those first 3 games in the conference with 2 road games against Everest and Spash will say a lot about this 2026 Wausau West football program. Another tough one comes up on Friday, the 25th of September. Marshfield will come to Tom Field. And I would say for Wausau West, in terms of the heavy lifting of the Wisconsin Valley Conference, a lot of it occurs in the first half of the conference campaign. Their final conference games will be against the Eau Claire schools. And we've talked a bit about how both Eau Claire Memorial and Eau Claire North have struggled a bit when it has come as Wausau West pounds in for yet another touchdown offensively. But the struggles that Memorial and North have had. On Friday, the 2nd of October, week 7 of the season, week 5 of the conference campaign, Wausau West will be at Eau Claire Memorial. On Friday, the 9th of October, there'll be a crossover. Chippewa Falls, always a good program. You get a chance to see Chippewa Falls come to Tom Field on the 9th of October. And then the Warriors will wrap up their regular season on Friday, October the 16th. They'll take on Eau Claire North. So that's it for Wausau West. They, like Wausau East, have 4 games at Tom Field, 5 games on the road. We are continuing to see the set of 15 plays at the very end of this scrimmage. Again, I'm very curious to watch the 1 quarter. Basically, they're going to make it a game scrimmage. Not the scrimmage you start at the 40 and you run your offensive plays, you score and you come back. Or if you don't get a first down, you start again. But actually play a quarter of football. There's a bit of a floater deep downfield. That'll be an incomplete pass. Talking again a little bit about some of the players for Wausau West this season. Again, Jackson Riley, I've heard nothing but great confidence about what this young man will be capable of as a senior. He has been part of the varsity squads. He's been a multi-sport athlete for Wausau West. He has seen a lot in terms of Wausau West Warrior High School athletics, and now he gets that chance to start off this season as the starting QB. And I think there's a lot of folks that are very confident he's going to be able to do some good things for the Warriors over the next couple of months. And again, I am very curious, and I think we're seeing a little bit of it, where maybe we'll see the Warriors use those wide receivers just a little bit more, because both Finn Richard and Asa Richard have been starters. If you listen to our interview with head coach Matt Johnson I conducted about a week ago, again, it's located on our Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, it's not automatic that those two will be out there all the time, that there's a lot of competition for receivers here for Wausau West. So, again, that's going to be an interesting aspect to watch. Who's going to be out there on the split ends for Wausau West this season, but also the idea that maybe we'll see a little bit more use of those wide receivers this year. Also, Wausau West has to feel really confident having Miles Walvogel as their running back. He was outstanding a year ago. As I said, he, along with Cooper DePoit, teamed up almost for 1,200 yards between them. Both had about 600 yards, 600 even for Miles. And another nice little swing pass. But Miles Walvogel, you're going to see him involved a lot in the pass game, I'm sure, as well for Wausau West. The interesting aspect is you'll see Miles Walvogel at times on the defensive side, but I think, at least to start off the campaign, Wausau West doesn't want to have a lot of two-way players. I think they want to try to keep everybody as fresh and as healthy as possible during the course of the season. I mean, Miles Walvogel a year ago was first team all-conference as a defensive back, but we're going to see more of him at running back, at least to start off the season. I think in some of those significant games, I would not be surprised to see more of him be a two-way player against, say, a DC Everest or a Stevens Point or a Marshfield during the course of the season. But again, we're going to see how the players that are starting and how the players that are fighting for time, how they perform. That's, again, the big aspect of practice. Nothing is guaranteed. Going to the short side of the field and still getting positive yardage for what is Wausau West. I want to, again, thank a few of our sponsors, and we're still trying to build as we begin this new journey that is Wausau Area Sports. And we're so thrilled with the help of the Clover Bell Credit Union. Clover Bell Credit Union has been with us when I was on the radio for many years, and they were the first one to come on board and help us here during the course of Wausau Area Sports. So I do our Wausau Area Sports business banking with Clover Bell Credit Union, so thanks to them for their support. Also, Rocket Industrial, Ryan and all the folks at Rocket Industrial. You see their logo on our screen as well. They have been with us right from the start. They were also a great supporter of our broadcast when we were on the radio. Also, Weld Riley Law Firm and Matthew Meyer. Boy, I've known Matt Meyer for a long time. He has been such a big positive force with Wausau West Athletics, him and his family. Of course, see a lot of him during the softball season as he is the hitting coach for Wausau West. But Weld Riley Law Firm and Matthew Meyer, thanks to them for their support of our broadcast. Wimmer Real Estate. Tim Wimmer, of course, is the defensive coordinator for Wausau West, and he is supporting through his Wimmer Real Estate office and also the Wausau West Athletic Department. Really, B.J. Brandt and everybody, Kurt Richard at Wausau West, thanks to them for their support of our broadcast to bring you Wausau West football. But also we will have early in this season, we will have Wausau West Warrior volleyball. We will have some Wausau West Warrior boys soccer added in there as well. Big opening up the middle again for Wausau West, and another touchdown for the Warriors. Man, oh man, we are seeing, again, the Warriors just go up and down the field offensively. Very exciting to see. And we've seen a lot of good offensive work from Wausau East as well during the course of this scrimmage. And I mentioned as well, just joining us again, is Road Ready Drivers Education. Road Ready University Drivers Education. They'll be our sponsor of First Downs and our post game. And again, as we start off this project, got our handful of sponsors, but you have a chance as we grow to reach thousands of Wausau West and Newman Catholic High School sports fans. And if you're a business that would like to show your support for our local student athletes, show your support for us being able to travel and bring you not just the home games but the road games during the high school football season, I would love to talk to you about sponsorship, because again, we can't do it without your support. The cost involved of Ian here cost me an arm and a leg here to be up here. Oh, another long pass for the Warriors will be a touchdown. But to get good help like Ian Welsh and Tom Weaver, and to be able to help bring us these broadcasts, it really helps us immensely. And if you're able to help us as well, I'd love to talk to you. Again, you'll be able to reach a lot of folks who are great supporters of Wausau West Athletics and Newman Catholic Athletics, for you to be known as somebody as a supporter, I think would be a great help to your business. So again, please reach out to me. Go to our website, wausauareasports.com. There's a link to a contact. Just email me, chad.holmes@wausauareasports.com. And again, I can send you our advertising packages. And we got a number of different packages. If you are only able to support on a very low level, hey, we can work with you as well. So again, please reach out, and love to have that conversation with you, because we cannot make this work unless we do have your support as well. And there's another Wausau West offensive play, and this time the Lumberjacks able to slow it down. Actually, no, the Lumberjacks are back. No, there's the Warriors. And also, you see at the top of your screen, there is a link. If you're just somebody that's not a business owner, but somebody that appreciates our broadcast, and if you're able to make a small donation to help the cause, it would be greatly appreciated. I've had a few folks that have reached out to just say, hey, we'd like this to work. We'd like you to be at all these games, and been able to make a donation, and it's so greatly appreciated. Doesn't have to be a large donation, but anything really does help us continue to build, because able to get more equipment, get better equipment, and be able to try to make our broadcast even higher quality. And that's something that's very important to us, to be able to bring you high quality broadcasts of our high school teams. And there's another long throw, but it fades just out of bounds. Another big chunk attempt there for Wausau West. But again, if you see our Venmo address there, please consider making a donation as well, because we plan on trying to do as much as we possibly can when it comes to our coverage of area high school sports here on Wausau Area Sports. And I want to actually talk a little bit about what we're doing here, because I know there have been folks out there who want their team covered on a play-by-play basis. In fact, I know that there are some passionate folks from Wausau East who would love nothing better than to have their team covered as well. Unfortunately, I've only got 2 units right now, and I know that you're saying, wow, why are they doing Wausau West and Newman Catholic? Another long pass and another touchdown there for the Warriors. But over the last 25 years on radio, the focus for me at the radio station was Wausau West and Newman Catholic, because starting about 50-some years ago, there was a basic breakdown of the schools in Wausau. One radio station had Wausau East. One radio station had DC Everest, and another radio station, the one that I worked for, had Wausau West and Newman Catholic. So over the years, I developed the relationships with West and Newman, and starting this project, I wanted to continue those relationships. And it started off in the spring where I had one camera and one broadcast unit, and was able to basically do, for the most part, Wausau West High School baseball and softball. Now here, starting in the fall, I bought another camera, and I bought another remote unit. I've hired a couple of board and camera operators, and I got Tom Weaver to help us out on these doubleheader nights in high school football. There's another big chunk of yardage and another road-ready university driver's education first down for the Warriors. But this is a process in terms of trying to cover some of these teams. And I hope at some point to be able to add another unit. But there's thousands of dollars that go into buying these units, and I am not a wealthy person. So again, I ask for some patience for some fans of, say, Wausau East, or maybe Marathon or Mosinee here in the Wausau area, that would like to see some further coverage of their teams. Believe me, I have you on my mind, and that I would love to be able to add another remote unit and add another announcer and camera and all the things that go into it. Because when we have multiple games at the same time on a Friday night, it's not an easy proposition for a brand new organization. So again, I know that I've heard from some folks. I just wanted to let you folks know that I do hear you, and that I do realize that you want to be part of our live broadcasts of Wausau Area Sports. So again, as happy as I am to be able to bring all the Wausau West football games and the Newman Catholic football games to you this fall, that we are thinking about other schools in the Wausau area. But again, hopefully that there's other organizations as well that cover the athletics. And I think that's great that we are. I'm just hoping to add a little bit here. I'm not looking to take over in any way at all. I'm just hoping to continue to bring you the action that I've been able to cover over the years on the radio, and I'll add a video aspect to it as well. So, again, at this point, Wausau West and Newman Catholic with all the sports play-by-play coverage, but also, again, for fans of Wausau East, as I mentioned earlier, we had a interview with head coach Tyler Kramer that I did earlier this week. We were able to sit down for about 25 minutes and go in depth on the Wausau East football program. Please go and check that out, that video. We have a Wausau East football preview with a listing of the players that the Lumberjacks have lost to graduation, and have also have back this season, a look at their schedule and more. So that's at wausauareasports.com in our local sports section. So again, we will be covering East and Everest and Mosinee and Marathon and Northern Lutheran, and when they have their winter sports during the course of the school year on wausauareasports.com. So again, that's one of the exciting aspects about starting football. I know a lot of folks that may not have caught that we started up during the spring with our baseball and softball covers, but now we'll be paying attention as we get to football and then into the winter as well with basketball and hockey. Again, this is a process, and hopefully we'll be able to add a little bit more. But my focus is to do not a lot. I don't want to be doing 12 games a night, because that's too much. I don't want to bite off more than we can chew. But what we do, we want to do exceptionally well, and that's the plan here with wausauareasports.com and our Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Wausau East trying to move their way up and down the field. And as I mentioned earlier, if you have not already done so, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We will have links to our stories and links to our broadcasts put up on our social media. If you have not already hit the subscribe button at the bottom of your screen, if you're watching on YouTube, please do so. If you are enjoying what we're doing, please hit the thumbs up button as well. So again, it's very exciting. We're so excited to be back with the start of a new school year and the start of a new football season, and looking forward to bringing you live play-by-play of numerous events on the gridiron, in the field house with the Wausau West volleyball team, and right here from Johnson Field with Wausau West boys soccer as well during the course of the season. As Wausau East pounding it right up the middle. But when you start a new project, there's so many moving parts, I got to tell you. And again, there'll be hiccups from time to time, and I please ask for patience as we do try to learn our equipment and learn even some of the bells and whistles. I'm hoping that maybe at some point we'll be able to get some instant replays going and stuff like that as well. So, but I'm a very small operation here, and I like it that way. I like to have people around me that I trust, like Ian Welsh right next to me, and Tom Weaver when I have multiple games, to know that Tom is on the microphone for a game. People that I know can provide us with some quality coverage of our local teams. And I forgot to mention as well, starting not this Wednesday, but a week from Wednesday night, we will be having special programs. During the last, almost 10 years, we've had what's called the Big High School Sports Show on the radio. This year, what we're doing is we're going to, again, and I apologize for those of you outside of West and Newman, but as part of our coverage plans to again, help in terms of our advertising and the folks that are focused on advertising for West and Newman, we're having special programs on Wednesdays. One will be the big Wausau West Sports Show, and one will be the big Newman Catholic Sports Show. We'll have an hour with Wausau West, an hour with Newman Catholic. We will have interviews with coaches. We will have interviews every week with student athletes. And we'll have a lot of information about these programs. So, again, there will be a live streaming program this time around on our Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. We'll also stream it on our Facebook account as well. So, again, a week from Wednesday. So that would be on Wednesday the 26th. It will be the big Wausau West Sports Show and the big Newman Catholic Sports Show starting at 6 o'clock on Wednesday evenings. Wausau East knocking on the door. A little bobble, but grabbing it. And then the quarterback is brought down in the backfield. Love hearing the enthusiasm. Love hearing the players that are not out there cheering on their teammates. The coaches, great energy for both East and West. But we have a lot on our plate as we try to get things underway, basically, here with Wausau Area Sports. And I think it's going to be a very exciting journey, and just try to add to what's already been done. We got a lot of different media that do a fantastic job in covering area sports, and we're just looking to add to that and try to, again, maybe do it in a way that focuses on the student athletes and try to give you the stories and also the games. And there goes a quarterback run and a big hit, and Warrior D able to keep East out of the end zone. Boy, I thought for sure that was going to lead to a touchdown, but again, the Warriors flying around the football, able to knock down the runner just short of the goal line. But it is such an exciting time. That's one reason why we are here today. We knew we weren't going to bring you a play-by-play of this scrimmage, but try to go around and try to talk to different people. Try something a little different with the wireless mic. I may have learned that, hey, there's a certain amount of distance I can only go to keep the microphone working. But again, we're trying to do some different things. Try to get you as close to the action as well in our coverage of high school sports here on Wausau Area Sports. So Jags trying to punch it in. Fourth down and goal. You know the Jags want to get in, and you know this Wausau West defense wants to keep them out. Oh, bobble, run to the right. There's not much room, and a little, just getting rid of it. Smart play. It's a scrimmage. Just toss out. It doesn't matter. But a good stop there for Wausau West. It started off, of course, the snap was a little bit high and bobbled as well. Want to remind you that we will be moving across the street this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We'll have another stream with the Wausau Area Sports and high school football scrimmages. Be at Newman Catholic, as Newman will be involved with Three Lakes Phelps, also Hurley, Athens, and Assumption. So we'll have coverage over across the street of the Newman Catholic scrimmage coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And again, we have a short break. Let's take another short break again. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we'll come back with more action here from the scrimmage on Wausau Area Sports.
The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports.
Rocket Industrial's mission to package with less is a commitment to making a future that's better for the next generation. Their recommendations help manufacturers across the nation package with less material, less waste, less time, and with less cost. Their engineers and experts provide data-backed solutions that positively impact your bottom line. When you work with Rocket Industrial, you're working with a partner committed to making a difference. Rocket Industrial, package with less. Learn more at rocketindustrial.com.
And we are back with a hit, and I don't think the Jacks were too thrilled about that because, again, but it looks as though the quarterback will be okay. But, again, that's one of the things. And I know talking to coaches that one of the aspects of scrimmages is, yes, you want to look good. But the biggest thing that coaches take the biggest deep breath on at the end of a scrimmage is to come out of it healthy, to be ready for the first game of the season. But we're seeing the Wausau West defense step up as this scrimmage continues. And thanks all of you who have tuned in here. And I saw we actually have some comments on our YouTube stream. It's great to hear some of the folks sharing their thoughts. And one was, bring back the log game. And I think we would all love to have the log game back. I wish there would be a way to, because I know that the way that the non-conference games are set up these days, they seem to be just conference crossovers. In the case of Wausau West and the Wisconsin Valley Conference, you have crossovers with the big rivers. And so there seems to be limited opportunities to basically fill your non-conference. my idea, and again, I haven't talked to anybody about this, but perhaps like, you know, in week 2, that whoever Wausau West is scheduled to cross over against, and then would face the team that Wausau East is scheduled to face off in a non-conference game, or something along those lines, because the energy that we'd have is there's a nice big chunk of yardage for the Lumberjacks on the left-hand side. Boy, the energy that we would see at a log game, it frankly didn't matter in terms of whether one team was really good or one team wasn't good, but when both teams are good, it certainly added a little bit to the juice of the game. But it didn't matter. I mean, you hear that old saying, throw out the records. 99% of the time I just roll my eyes when I hear somebody say, well, throw out the records. No, you don't throw out the records. But I think with the log game, you do in terms of the energy and the passion of it. And the fact that we don't have the log game right now it's a disappointment, I know, to a lot of fans here in the Wausau area. But Lumberjacks are trying to work their way in. A lot of plays again here. Oh, there's a screen to the right-hand side that does not connect. But one thing that I've noticed, I mean, we have been going at it now. It is almost 12 noon now here. It's actually past 12 noon. I think this is longer than I recall, you know, in recent years when the Warriors were over at DC Everest. I think we're pretty much done at this point, but these teams, just 2 teams, they're going to keep on working and try to get as much accomplished here during the course of this scrimmage as possible. But it gives Ian more opportunity here to work with the camera and use his talents as a director. I know you perform on stage, but I don't think, have you ever been a director? No? So here Ian gets a chance to be a director. Oh, one thing I think the Lumberjacks are going to be looking at is misconnections on their snaps. And I know that early in the season that happens more often than we'll see coming up in a few weeks' time. But the opportunities to just give away downs when you drop a snap or it's too high or whatever it may be. But again, the Jacks will have a full week of preparation. They will start their season off next Friday night at Tom Field, taking on the Shawano Hawks. Warriors have a quick turnaround. They will be on Thursday night heading to Menominee, take on the Mustangs. Fake handoff on the sweep to the left. Now roll to the right-hand side. Looking. And there's a whistle. And good sportsmanship is knocking the quarterback down, giving a hand, and bringing him back up. But, again, West at Menominee next Thursday night. That will be our season opener here on Wausau Area Sports. I will be on the air with the pregame show at 6:40 and the opening kickoff at 7 o'clock. And then on Friday night, I'll be at Newman Catholic and Balliet Field as the Newman Cardinals will play host to Algoma, the Algoma Wolves. Beautiful Balliet Field, big renovation last year. It'll be season number 2 for Newman under the lights, and we'll be on the air at 6:40 next Friday and the opening kickoff at 7 o'clock. So Wausau West and Newman Catholic, all regular season games, will be airing live on the YouTube channel of Wausau Area Sports. There's a fade towards the far right corner of the end zone. That'll be an incomplete pass. Again, thanks to our sponsors of Wausau Area Sports. I want to just continue to be able to say thank you, because when you start a new operation, when you start something new, there's a leap of faith. And I know that these folks have been able to work with me for a long time, and I think that might be it. Well, maybe not. I thought we were going to have a quarter of football, but I'm not sure at this point. No, I think not. Well, we're just going to watch it here for a moment. No hurry, Ian. Work you on what we're doing. Oh, now it looks like we're shaking hands. So it does look as though that we will be completed here for this scrimmage between Wausau West and Wausau East. And I think both teams were able to get a lot accomplished during the last couple of hours. 2 full hours of 100% speed football. course, they weren't finishing up and going after the quarterbacks, but at the same time, the hitting out there was what you're going to see. And after going through practices for the last week and a half, I think both these teams were able to take advantage and be able to help themselves be ready for season kickoff next week. And it's nice to have an opportunity for Wausau West and Wausau East to get together. Again, it would be, I think, better if we had the opportunity for the law game, but any opportunity for the kids from East and West to get on the same field together, here in this case, a scrimmage, is something to look at as a huge positive. What we're going to do is we're going to take one final break and then come back and kind of wrap things up. So we'll take a break, come back. Wausau West and Wausau East High School football scrimmage on Wausau Area Sports.
Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage of Wausau West High School sports on Wausau Area Sports. Thanks for watching on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, but we'd like to see you out and about supporting Wausau West student athletes in action. To see a listing of upcoming events at Wausau West High School, go to WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. That's WisconsinValleyConference.org and click on Wausau West. Thanks to the Wausau West Athletic Department for their support of our coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Real Estate and Tim Wimmer is a proud supporter of our student athletes and our coverage of high school sports on Wausau Area Sports. Founded by Tim Wimmer, Wimmer Real Estate offers residential, commercial, business brokerage, and property management services throughout central Wisconsin. Backed by decades of experience and a commitment to client success. We're here to help you make your next move with confidence. Find out more about Wimmer Realty and contact him online. Go to wimmerrealty.com. That's wimmerrealty.com.
So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, a boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying, or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing summer fun. Motorcycles, ATVs, campers, motorhomes, and convertibles too. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender today. CCU can set you up with great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. Summer's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water, on the road, or off the road camping or ATVing. Stop in, call, or apply online at ccuwausau.com for your great rate. Whatever floats summer fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
The Weld Riley Law Firm of Wausau and attorney Matt Meyer is a supporter of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sports. Matt and the attorneys at Weld Riley have a wide range of practical knowledge and litigation experience, enabling their firm to offer an unparalleled breadth of services and depth of talent in Wisconsin. Matt can help you in finding a legal solution in civil litigation, family law, personal injury, and more. Contact Matt Meyer at Weld Riley Law Firm in Wausau. Thanks to Weld Riley and Matt Meyer for their support of high school sports coverage on Wausau Area Sport.
And we are back here at Johnson Field at Wausau West. Don't mind me. I just put my microphone down because I wanted to take a couple of pictures of the teams before they broke their huddles. As Wausau West and Wausau East just finished up their scrimmage for the 2026 football season. One thing that I think that kind of jumped out is the offenses. I think both offenses moved the ball, especially early on. But Wausau West, throughout the course of the scrimmage, was able to move it up and down and get a number of touchdowns. And I think show some really good variety with the way that they were moving the football as well. So I think I'm very curious next Thursday night when we're in Menominee for that game to see how the Warriors come out offensively. I think there's the potential, again, to be a very exciting offense for Wausau West, both with their run game with Miles Walvogel and now Jackson Riley being able to use the pass game as well. Wausau East, I think, has a lot to build on. We had a chance to talk to both folks over on the Wausau East side, and I think for East, I mentioned it's going to be a challenging start to their year. They got the Shawano game at home, but then 3 very tough road games, 1 non-conference game, and then 2 in the conference to get things underway. So I think East, very early in the season, we're going to find out a lot about the Lumberjacks in the first 4 weeks of this campaign as well. Okay, so again, we have more coverage. We will be over at Newman Catholic at 3 o'clock this afternoon with coverage of the Newman Catholic scrimmage. But again, it's always great to be here and talk some football. I think there's a lot of excitement for the start of the 2026 season. Again, this was a different kind of broadcast, but it was great just to, I think, for you folks out there to be able to hear from a few different folks, to be able to watch some of the action on the field as well. And again, I mentioned earlier, it's a scrimmage. It was not about winning or losing, but about being better to help out in week 1 of the regular season next week. Thanks to all of our sponsors. And again, thanks to our newest sponsor, Road Ready University Drivers Education. They'll be the sponsor of our First Down for the Warriors all season long and also the sponsor of our post-game show. So again, always stay tuned for the Road Ready University Drivers Education Player of the Game in our post-games. Road Ready University Drivers Education is a certified driving school located in central Wisconsin. They offer driving education to teens and adults in Marathon County. They are committed to safety and teaching the foundational skills to prepare you for a life of safe driving. Check them out online, Facebook, and Instagram. Are you Road Ready? So again, check out Road Ready University Drivers Education. Thank you to Ian Welsh. He is our cameraman here today. Thanks to Cloverbelt Credit Union, Rocket Industrial, Weld Riley Law Firm and Matthew Meyer, Wimmer Real Estate, the Wausau West Athletic Department, and Road Ready Drivers Education. And again, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, please check out that oh, we don't have our graphics up there. Oh, no. Yeah, put them up there for a second there, Ian. On our graphics up there. So you see at the top of the screen, you got our, if you liked what you saw here today and you could make a small donation, that would really go a long way towards adding to our equipment and adding to our potential for adding more area high school sports here on Wausau Area Sports. But for Ian Welsh, I am Chad Holmes. Thanks for joining us for this scrimmage, Wausau West and Wausau East on Wausau Area Sports.